Listen up. You are now listening to News with My Fiance with DJ Ep4 and Morgan Jones.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Thursday? Is it Thursday?
It is Thursday.
Good morning, DJ Ambush.
Good morning, Morgan Jones.
Good morning, Fiance.
Hey y'all.
Good morning, Malcolm. Don't you worry.
We know you're in commute.
I know you're commuting. I am breathing easy already. I am not going to ask where you are. I'm not going to force you to just pull over and send us a text message. Get to work safely.
See, communication is key.
It really is.
In any relationship.
It's all it takes.
Yes.
I don't know if it's all it takes, but it's a big one.
It's a big portion of it.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
It's not just the communication, though, Ambush. It's also the implementation of the information you have received. Okay. Because Malcolm can tell me every day or every Thursday, I'm on my way to work. Please stop calling me out on the radio.
Stop with your harassment.
And if I don't, he has clearly communicated why he's not texting us. And I'm not taking it. So it's not just the communication piece. It's someone you got to do something with that information.
Yeah.
So this is me trying to be clear that I am not going to when I'm yelling out inevitably, where in the world are my fiancés? Malcolm, I know where you are.
We know where you be.
I don't know where Rudo is yet, but I'm hoping that
and if I may
no problems today.
If I may throw a SOS out there, Crystal, it's been a while.
Crystal, it's been a while.
It's been a while, Crystal.
I've been trying not to, do too much.
You've been doing a good job.
I'm hearing a lot of things in my headphones, and I don't mean like people, guys. I don't mean like I hear other voices, but I'm hearing a lot of things. It's a little distracting. So if you hear me pause or an Ambush is trying to fix it, you hear him not responding to me. That's why.
That's what's happening.
That's what's happening. We're trying to get it together.
It.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said no. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to talk about clearly communicating, we got to do it too.
Absolutely.
Got to be on board. And I'm just going to clearly communicate that I have been head down making things for the last 3 days. I don't know what happened in the news. I don't have any idea what we're going to talk about today. Ambush produced the entire show. I have no clue. And while he was doing producing part of this show, I went to bed.
It's true. She needed the rest, man.
And I'm just going to also say my wits are not all the way about me. My eyes are barely open. I feel like I could fall asleep while I'm talking right now. I will try not to give you a boring show, but I am also very tired. So if I say something that you're like, Morgan, last week you said, you should text me so that I remember. I do love a correction. But it's been a wild week.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I know that there was a State of the Union. Joe Biden got on TV again, but I didn't see any of it. So
we were too busy being distracted by Marjorie Taylor Greene.
With that white fur coat?
Looked like she was going to an Usher concert.
She went to an Usher concert.
I cannot.
She was like, you make me want to leave the one I'm with. And she did that before, so.
It was a fitness instructor, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess she didn't leave the one she was with. She just started a new relationship with you, Like,
this is what we do.
Ah! This is what happens when I don't have sleep. Sorry, friends.
Yeah. So we'll be definitely talking about that national news. MTG demanding a probe over why former President Trump wasn't notified of the spy balloons that happened.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, no. Yeah. Hold on. That's why she tried to take that balloon into
Yeah.
into the State of the Union,
Yeah.
and then they were like, "No, you can't do that." So she was like, "I'm
Just-
dressed like the balloon."
I mean, just the clown behavior. What is this? She's dressing like a Narnia villain. Like, chill out,
I think
bro.
she is a Narnia villain. I mean,
I'm gonna
you know
take
what I
my
do want to
magic
know?
white balloon in with me.
I want to know her villain origin story.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's pretty shallow and short.
Well, I still want to know it. Like, I want to know what made you become the person who you are today. And the person you are today is someone who purposely tries to hurt large amounts of people.
Mhm.
So there's something there. That's all I'm saying.
Chapter 1 of her origin story. Bored. Chapter 2 of the origin story. Attention seeker.
Still bored.
Yeah. Bored part 2.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Attention
attention
seeker.
seeker.
So we can break that down to, like, you know, she's the middle child
Yeah.
who has all, no.
It's a very selfish pursuit, you know, like, come on, get out of here. You ain't fooling me. In other national news, Philadelphia high school students are disciplined after a video shows them spray painting the face of a black student while making some very racist comments.
That sounds racially charged to me.
Well, racism is behind us. I don't know if you know this. We had a black president, so cut the crap.
Racial nation.
Yeah.
It's such a hard thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Crystal's here.
Show down. Everyone be quiet. Crystal's here.
Crystal, good morning. I lost my screen. So we got MTG. We got Philadelphia. In local stories, Oregon workers file lawsuit over payroll issues.
Wait till you hear about this.
And what's happening at the Hendon House in Kenton? No. Actually, what isn't happening at that house? We could spend the whole show chat about that.
Yeah, we definitely could.
If I only saw one news story this week, it was that. And holy moly donut shop.
Yeah. We're gonna start that segment out by sharing the news story with you. We have some audio from Coin 6. I'm gonna let you hear that. And then we're gonna jump into it because
there's plenty.
What isn't happening?
Yeah.
What hasn't happened, what currently isn't happening at that location. It's a mess.
Wow.
It's a mess. We're going to hop into a music break first, and we will be right back with the news. Always a favorite.
It's a great way to coast into
the
morning.
Starting with that Mary always. What Rudo say? He said Rudo popped up?
Rudo! He said, good morning. I've got on my white fur coat. I'm ready for news with my fiance. Rudes. I just know you are. I just know that fur, I think it's faux fur in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Your white coat is faux fur.
Yeah.
Which is the only way to white fur coat, right? You can't.
Can't be after real
When
fur.
did it become like not okay to have faux fur in time?
I'm not sure.
Because now it's like you should not be hurting an animal to wear a coat.
So you shouldn't wear a fake.
No, so you should wear a fake one.
Oh.
Because why are you?
Right.
Also, you know, if I'm got my mink just dragging on the floor, you know.
That is how it's done.
And then
that's how it's done.
Somebody throws red paint on my coat. I'm going to be real peeved.
Yeah.
If it's super expensive. But faux fur is expensive too. Yeah. Anyway, what I was trying to go for is I feel like Rudo is very luxurious in his white fur coat.
Well, we will have the opportunity. I'm so looking forward to Fan Expo. Rudo's going to be there. He has a media pass because my guy is media.
He's the media.
You know?
Rudes.
So he says
we're going to get to meet in person?
We got to get this photo going. Big things are going. It's going to be amazing.
We need buttons. We need fiance buttons.
I got to make sure
people put on a fiance button so we know.
Nice.
Pins.
I'm going to wear my Oregon.
Well, you better.
My Oregon shirt. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. How exciting.
It's going to be great.
That's this month?
That is next Friday.
Oh, no.
You know what else is next Friday?
I need to get my hair braided.
Well, actually, what's next Thursday?
What news with my fiance?
Yes, in the morning, and then that evening, first show at 3:00, Quantumania.
Oh boy!
8:00 said it would be silly of us to show up to Fan Expo and
having not seen. Oh no, this is work related.
Yeah.
Did you buy tickets already? Did you buy me one?
Okay, I gotta get tickets. I haven't got tickets yet.
Okay.
I mean, Ado just said this to me 2 days ago.
Well, I'm not mad about it. I just want to make sure I'm included.
And, you know, I'm not made out of money. You know,
aren't you?
No, payday's tomorrow, and
okay, fine.
I will prioritize our tickets. Join the conversation.
I am excited to see Kang.
What?
Whichever
amazing.
version of Kang we get this go round.
I hope we get multiple.
I think we will.
Yeah.
Just because of in the trailer when he's like, "Have I killed you before?" I feel like there's a.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Rudo said it's a faux fur. I got him faux for 20. I can't even go forward. I got him 4 for 20, faux for 20 at top to bottom.
Not at top to bottom. Okay.
Am the weekend.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna pass out. That faux for 20, it might be the funniest thing that you have made me read. That is hilarious. Yeah. I'm trying very hard not to like scream into the mic with my laughs. Because, you know, nobody wants it.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it.
But if you do, when they get in on the laughs, shoot us a text at 971-220-5979. So about this Marjorie. She's your fave.
Oh,
she's your problematic fave.
First of all, slow down. I feel like she would be a problematic fave if she was like where she is supposed to be, and that is like wrestling. You know? Right. Like she should be the Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
But instead, she wants me to take her serious about politics.
Right.
And I just, you know, I live in reality.
Listen.
You would be funny if this was, if this shtick that you were doing was not in the halls of Congress.
Listen, the woman said Jewish space lasers.
And she meant it.
Yeah.
And then she brought a white balloon to work. It was like, look at me. I got a Chinese spy balloon in my hand.
Just this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't listen. You cannot expect me to take this seriously. You can't. Look how you are conducting yourselves, bro. Like,
I need you to understand that this is for them, for her,
by her. That's okay. That's where you were going.
This is what happens when Rudo starts the day with faux for 20.
Okay?
Now you're doing this. Okay. Wow. She is serious, right? Like this is, and I don't mean like serious. I mean,
right.
She is doing what she thinks is not just like the right thing to do. No, it's definitely not that. I don't know. I don't know. I need to be quiet now. I haven't decided. Is this just fully like when, you know, someone figures out the right formula to become viral? Mm-hmm. Like, is this just an op?
Right.
For her to be in the way, the entertaining one of the, and by that I mean at least headline worthy that you can make fun of her and she's totally fine with that because I'm here to do a different job and that job is obstruct.
Right.
I just don't know.
I think with a lot of these, especially challenging characters, in the initial stages of their career, be as it may, there may have been a degree of actual concern about the issues, right? About wanting to see change. And then that quickly shifts into the relationship between, you know, just small levels of adoration and fame, which then becomes the major priority. Because if you're truly earnest about wanting to see the change, you don't go this trajectory because in order
You
to
won't
get
get it.
here, you won't get it. In order to get the change that you want, you would have to completely ignore all the existing actual facts, which leaves space for you to introduce alternative facts and everything else that you do out there to justify this road that you're on. Like, it's too, especially with someone like Marjorie, it's too easy to debunk and fact check in the moment the things that she says.
Yeah.
So this isn't about the issues, it's just about her ability to hold the microphone, because then she'll pivot to another issue, and it's like chasing a merry-go-round. You're running around with it. And what about this? Okay, well, what about this? What about this? And what's her name? Used to be press secretary for Trump. Was it? No. Campaign, one of the campaign spokesmen.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
No.
Who is the governor of a state.
I know. I'm thinking about Miss Actual Alternative Facts.
Oh, Kellyanne Conway.
Yeah, like they're ninjas with it. And that's all they actually have to master, not the issue.
Certainly.
The way to pivot.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not mad at, but Kellyanne Conway's job was to spin. Her job was not to get policy enacted and for why. Like that's her job. A congressperson is in fact supposed to care about their constituents. Now, I happened to watch The Wire in real time. And that changed my life in the way of how I viewed politicians, because there was all of this esteem, that a congressman, so-and-so, that was such a big deal for the congressperson to be at the graduation or whatever. And I remember watching The Wire and being like, whoa, man. So like everybody's a crook. Everybody's just doing things for themselves. Like
all crooks everywhere, all at once.
All at once, all the time.
Yeah.
Now, again, I have had to make this disclaimer before. No, I don't just get all of my thoughts from television.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but I do, in fact, get all of them from David Simon. So any book, any show, any movie, I am there, and it's just 100% real.
We got to do that on a podcast as on name. You have to have like a David Simon tribute show or analysis or something.
I'm down. He's an American hero.
Yeah. Yeah, he is.
Yeah. All right. So, sorry, I was supposed to be reading a story about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Excuse me. Marjorie Taylor Greene demands probe over why former President Trump was apparently not informed of previous Chinese balloons over the U.S.
Bruv.
Who believes that? She believes? Okay. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has called for an investigation into why former President Donald Trump was allegedly not informed about the presence of Chinese surveillance balloons passing over the U.S. during his administration. She took to Twitter to express her concerns, stating that if the Pentagon had deliberately kept this information from the president, then there was a significant breach of command within the Trump administration. The Pentagon did not respond to a request for the comment. The news of the suspected Chinese spy balloon sparked reactions from Trump and his conservative supporters, who claimed that such incidents would not have happened during a Trump presidency. However, a senior defense official confirmed that 4 previous Chinese surveillance balloons were seen in the U.S., 1 during the Biden administration and 3 during Daddy Trump's. These incursions were reportedly much shorter than the recent one. The recent balloon was shot down by an FF-22. Are you supposed to say that in a different way? Like F squared. I don't even know. An FF-22 fighter jet on Saturday. Trump dismissed reports of earlier balloons as disinformation. Shout out to Kellyanne Conway. While Greene initially called the report false. She now suggests that the Pentagon may have been responsible for withholding the information from Trump. However, reports indicate that the balloons simply went undetected during Trump's presidency. Everybody was at lunch. A senior administration official told Fox News that the Washington Post that they were only discovered after Trump left office. Despite this, Greene remains unsatisfied with the explanation and has raised the question of how the Biden administration learned about the previous balloons. It's still unclear how the information came to light, but an unnamed senior administration official suggested that the shorter flight duration may have made it harder to detect them immediately.
I love those unnamed officials. They my faves.
Here's the thing. It's almost as if Marjorie understands that this isn't real. And by this, I mean her being a congressperson. It's almost as if she understands that part's real. But then she has these moments, because this is not how I would be paying a congressperson to spend their time.
No.
Right?
No.
This is not ideal. But it's like she gets it but doesn't get it. So there's moments when she's like, oh, I think I'm supposed to take this serious. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, how come? Yeah, oh, right. We're going to have an election again. Biden, I don't want him around. Look at how weak you are.
Mm-hmm.
You let the Chinese spy balloon. I don't know how to tell her this. They be spying. We be spying. Mm-hmm. Everybody's doing the espionage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honey, baby, sweetie, sugar. What, I
think she's still waiting to see that we caught James Bond or something.
Well, the other thing is, if I were in national intelligence, I wouldn't tell anybody in the Trump administration anything.
And that was the first thing that popped in my mind.
I mean, immediately, why didn't they? Because it's Trump and he will tweet it, number one. He's going to have some lackey out here telling us how, like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Beavis or Butthead. I can never remember which one Matt Gaetz is. I don't know, but he's one of them. Out here talking about making things racist. Who needs it? Yeah. So, folks at the Pentagon or wherever they were seeing these balloons, I can absolutely see why you would not mention.
Because they would know Trump would ask them to bring the balloon down so he could
take a ride.
Make America great again on it. When you send that back to him.
That balloon needs to be red.
Yeah. Send that back to the Chinese. Let them know. That's what he would ask them to do. This is the same guy that was,
take it down, write a note, put it back up, and send it on its way.
Can we just push it? Just push it over there? Can we rig a plane that'll have a fan on it that'll push it back to China? Because, we want to send a message. It's about sending the message. Again, same guy that tried to change weather patterns with a Sharpie.
Well, it's better than a nuke.
Yeah. Well,
because he was like, how come you can't just?
Oh my God. I can't believe I forgot that.
How come you can't just take one of our weapons and throw it in the middle of that hurricane and see if it don't stop it?
He wanted to nuke a hurricane.
He was like, not my golf course.
I really hope, at one of these Trump rallies, someone has that T-shirt. My president will nuke a hurricane.
It definitely has an eagle, 7 American flags, and a Mount Rushmore with only Trump's face on it on the back. That shirt, if it doesn't exist, it does exist. It's there.
Strong leadership, 2024.
Rudo said, Marge said she's upset that she has to do, quote, this job year round. She is.
Yeah, she wants to do TV appearances.
It's not just that she's silly to me. It's the fact that we are supposed to take her seriously, or women like her, or men like her, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene. She is a customer service worker's nightmare. And I'm certain that I have, made a Starbucks for her before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She is awful. And I think that she's awful like that to every person she comes that inconveniences her. And so it's just you're annoyed you have to do this job that you did all this work to become and have. And don't get me wrong. It's not me trying to give her credit.
Right.
I don't know how we got here.
But you put us through all of this.
Right. She definitely, to me, is when people say, you should run for politics, you should run for something. You should run for office. Also, don't tell people that. You know why?
I've been told that.
I've been told that too. You shouldn't think. That is real vague. What do you even mean?
It's pretty vague, but I will say this. It is a... what's the word? It's hope and your ability in leadership. You know, it's like, hey, you got a lot of the right ideas. I'd much rather you be in charge of my municipality.
I'll take that. I'll take that. But the thing that worries me is somebody said that to her.
Right.
And then not only did she, you know, think it through and go, yeah, that seems legit. But then there were a bunch of other people that decided to work for her and were like, yeah, this is the thing that I'm going to make sure happens. And then they did.
Ride that crazy train. Veep really prepared me to be able to just handle all of this much better.
I think that would have been true for me too if I had watched that in real time.
Yeah, Veep would have set us up real good. Welcome back to News of My Fiance. Philadelphia high school students disciplined after a video shows one using black spray paint on another's face while saying racist comments. At least 2 Philadelphia high school students are facing disciplinary action after a racist video recorded outside of school surfaced on social media, showing one girl spraying black spray paint on another girl's face as they made racist comments a week into Black History Month. 2 of the girls in the video that began circulating online on Tuesday attend St. Hubert Catholic High School for Girls. According to Kenneth A. Gavin, the chief communication officer for the Archdiocese of Philadelphia, a third girl in the video is not a student. We will not disclose finite details of individual disciplinary actions, but the level of behavior calls for a minimum of suspension and counseling and a maximum of expulsion, Gavin told CNN in the email on Wednesday. In the statement released Wednesday, Franklin Town Charter High School said the former student who participated in the video or any other students who exhibited such conduct have no place at our school. The content of this video does not reflect the values and culture of our town family, the school said on its website. It's unclear whether the former student was enrolled at the time of the video recording. A black parent whose daughter attends Catholic school told CNN the video was sent directly to his daughter and niece, as well as other black students. When asked whether the video was initially sent to black students at the school, Gavin told CNN, at this time it is unknown as to the exact distribution. My understanding is that it was posted and shared on social media. St. Hubert Catholic School serves roughly 500 students, grades 9 through 12, while nearly 1,300 students attend Franklin Town Charter High School. Their respective data shows that both schools are majority white. The video began circulating on social media a week into Black History Month. In the video, a girl is seen using black spray paint to color the face of another girl. She says, "You're a black girl. You know your roots. It's February. You're nothing but a slave. And after this, she's doing my laundry." It's always the skilled level, the level of wit that racism brings out. It's just, I mean, like, what do you, oh man, packed house. People in the video can be heard laughing as this occurs. One person is seen filming the incident on her phone. The girl who had her face painted says, "I'm black and I'm proud." The video was taken outside of school and after school hours. A Wednesday statement provided to CNN by the Archdiocese of Philadelphia said, "We recognize and understand that the actions of these students have reopened societal wounds in a deeply painful way. Those allegedly responsible are not present in school and are being disciplined appropriately," the Archdiocese said. The Archdiocese added, the school and the Office of Catholic Education are conducting a review into the incident. Should that process determine involvement by any other students, they will also face disciplinary action. Catherine Hicks, president of the Philadelphia branch of the NAACP, expressed in a statement Wednesday her strong disappointment in the video and called on the school to ensure action takes place immediately. It is extremely disheartening to have to address this, especially during the observance of Black History Month, that honors the accomplishments and rich history of Black people, the statement said. The video showing the egregious acts of Philadelphia Archdiocese white female students spray painting a young lady's face black is totally unacceptable, the statement continued. To say the act was done in jest is not only appalling, but shows us the continued cycle of racism that we're constantly fighting against. Hey guys, I'm not sure if you know this. Post-racial America. These are high school students. High school students, guys.
Well, it's funny that
Where are the parents?
funny is the wrong word, but
Interesting.
no, funny is the right word. Rudo, we missed a text right before you started reading this, said, "Thanks for the jam. How's y'all month of histories going? Is that still a thing?"
Oh, month of history.
And we went right into this story, and so I think that this might sum it up for you, Rude. This is how the month of histories. We're doing, reenactments and slave auctions and things. That's shout out,
bruh.
I'm having a heart. Like I could just spend the rest of our time talking about the ills and why there are high school aged white kids that think that this is funny, just a joke or whatever. I don't know what the thought process behind something like this is. I also know that you don't know how to think when you are a high school person. But this is not innate. You are not born with this idea that there are people that are less than you.
Yeah.
And that, like, this is taught behavior.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the crusades that are happening right now, this anti-woke, no CRT, no that. The reason they don't want, well, there's lots of reasons, but one of the many reasons that they don't want that kind of information taught is because it's a whole lot harder to get people to believe in the lie that is white supremacy if you're not starting it from the beginning. And this is indoctrination. Like, we are indoctrinated with white supremacy and patriarchy and capitalism from the very beginning of our lives. And that includes a lot of anti-blackness that you don't realize shows up until it shows up. And when you're at home talking, about your interactions with people that don't look like you, and it all sounds filled with disdain, those little ears hear those things.
Yeah.
They pick it up, they process it in the way that they can. And that's the other thing. When we talk about what are parents doing and how, I recognize that it is hard to get out of your own experience, right? When you're talking to people or teaching somebody something, you can't forever and always sit in your lens. I think a lot of parents do not remember that their kids are kids, and that the way that they process information has absolutely nothing to do with the way that their parent does.
You're being very kind.
Oh no, I mean, I'm not even being kind. I'm just saying you are giving, it's dangerous is where I'm going.
Absolutely.
There's the idea that, well, this person is a smart 17-year-old, so they'll understand what I'm saying right now. And what I'm saying is, you cannot give a lifetime filled with it's okay to be racist and just say out loud, that's not okay to be racist. But every action you have done, everything that they have seen has been, oh, well, no, that's just how that's not racist because my mom said it's not racist. And this is just jokes or whatever.
Just jokes. There it is.
Because that's what's happening. Their parents right now are like, this was just a joke. I can't believe you're even considering suspending Sarah. She didn't do anything wrong. This was just a joke.
It's just a joke, but it is in line with our beliefs. So
yeah, and they're not going to say that part.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to say that part. So that's where, like, I remember, I think we should all, those of us who have the ability to, or in the headspace to, start having some of these conversations that lead us into areas we've purposely been trying to avoid. Just in the way of, having the headspace to just go about your day, dealing within whatever system of oppression you are constantly dealing with. But I remember, hitting little point of realization, an epiphany about how once I started being more aware of white youth participating in racism, it kind of chopped away at one of my hopes that, we will be able to, generation after generation, just eradicate racism.
Yeah.
It's the older white people that are the issue. The young white kids they're killing it. They're more aware. But like
they're like the hip hops,
right? So like, there are different sections of society that we stay out of because it's like, oh, I heard it's pretty dingy over there. I heard it's, like things can get nasty over there. Like online gaming, like certain, comic book and fantasy, circles. Like you hear about how misogynistic it is. You hear about how racist it is. And you kind of like close that door, like, and that's where I don't kick it at. But there are millions of people in there kicking it for that purpose. That's an added bonus for them. And a lot of them are kids, man. These are actual kids. I remember saying like it was maybe one of the race auctions or something in Newburgh or whatever. And I'm like, this is really starting to feel like a rites of passage for some young white kids, because there's that other app. Forgive me, guys. I'm not doing the tick or the talking. There's tons of other apps out there that I'm unaware of, but I just know there's this app that they can get on where just a random person pops up that you have a conversation with.
Yeah. It's like Ogle or Oogle.
Yeah. And a kid will just pop up and just start throwing the N-word.
Yep.
And it's just like, and it's hilarious to them. Like, this is
coward.
This is what's funny. This is so awesome. And then you want to be able to grow up, go to college, be admitted to wherever you want. This never come back up in your life.
Happened.
But if it does, it's like, oh man, I was just 15. Which goes back to the whole rite of passage thing for me. It's like, that was just a phase. Racism, casual, hilarious racism to you was a phase? Bruh.
I really want to get away from the term casual racism too. And I know why you're using it, but I it's very much microaggressions. Like, do not diminish something that you do not experience. Like, it is unfair. It is absolutely ridiculous that the people that get to decide what is, what isn't, when it should count, when it's big enough to even use the R word.
Yeah. Throwing that card around.
Yeah, you're throwing that black card around. You're throwing your race card around. Those are the people that are doing the things.
Yeah, all of the things.
You do not get to decide. Somebody tried to yell at me on the Twitters, I think, about, they said I fundamentally misunderstand what racism is. And you
should get your act together.
Number one, you're correct. I really should get my act together. Number two, what is funny to me is seeing people just figure out what words are, right? And then not know how to use them. They just heard Ben Shapiro say that I fundamentally disagree with a like they just heard that, and now fundamentally is part of their debate bro words.
Yeah.
You can't fundamentally tell me anything about racism as a black woman in America. And you know what happens when you say that? They're like, see, race card. Cool story, bro.
No.
You do not get to be the one who does it and then tell me when it is and isn't something that should hurt someone else's feelings.
Right.
Or their chances at a job or getting admitted into school. The lives are so different. And when when you get to add these little qualifiers, well, that's casual racism, or that was a microaggression. Yeah. It's those things that diminish the impact and on the people that are receiving those aggressions, and then the people that are doing them. And it's for them. It's not for the people that are being victimized by anything.
No.
It's literally for the people that are doing the racism to say, that's not that bad of racism. You don't even need to look at what's in my heart. This was just a joke.
One of my favorite indicators, because, for a while it's been like, we gotta, protect our peace, protect our space, make sure we're not having circuitous conversations with people that aren't looking for any type of solution. And so I always for for a good while, my whole thing was gauge the person you're having a conversation with. Are they even qualified to be in this discussion? So when a white person accuses a person of color of being racist, it's like you don't know how to word works.
Yeah, you just don't know what it means.
We don't need to talk.
You just don't know.
You don't know what racism means if you're accusing any person of color of being racist.
It's funny you say that. That's exactly the thing that was happening. It was like this person saying that really the racism is happening to white people now, and how we should all really be like taking a stand, I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
and it was like, wow, you guys don't know what these words mean.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, you have to have power. You cannot just be throwing around this is racist.
You're confusing bigotry with racism, but also you're misusing bigotry.
Yes, that too. Yeah. But that is definitely that's why I was told I fundamentally don't understand what racism is.
Well, you need to get on it. Get a greater understanding.
I wish more people would read books, before they all get burnt.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta read. Like, it's just like there are...
going to disappear, man.
Back to really quickly the qualification part. I have had to start saying to myself, this person could be, a 12-year-old just saying things. Stop talking to people on the internet. And this is me yelling at myself.
Yeah. Real talk.
Stop it. This person is clearly not qualified. And you're assuming that means they're an adult because they're here and you're an adult.
Right.
Get off of here.
Right.
Do not engage.
Do not engage. There is a house that hasn't been receiving proper engagement. Apparently for decades.
There's a house in North Portland that they need to build Cop City next to.
Bruh.
Just kidding, guys, to be very clear.
Yeah, we're not proponents of Cop City in any shape, form, or fashion.
Shut that down yesterday.
But, I mean...
Where's Batman when you need him?
So it was a call to arms.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to jump into this segment, new segment from Coin 6, and come back with some commentary about the house.
The Hendon House.
The Hendon House. Let's see if we can pull this up. Should be able to do this. I feel pretty qualified.
Neighbors forced to live in fear.
Police have gotten called to the house hundreds of times in the last few years.
Then they reached out to Coin 6.
Neighbors came to me out of desperation.
I've constantly been living with fear.
What they're up against.
Drug use, harboring other criminals, assault.
It was a months-long investigation. Back in November, Coin 6 exposed the disturbing and dangerous behavior spilling out of a house in North Portland, including illegal drugs, assaults, theft, even shootings.
Our Elise Haas chronicled the criminal history of one family, showing how this has been impacting the neighborhood and city for decades. And tonight, we're getting action as the city and police are now stepping in, Elise, to try and put a stop to this.
Because the neighbors were telling me that they couldn't get enough help from the city and county for years. And my previous report exposed how the family was charged with more than 500 crimes. Well over half of those charges ended in convictions after some numerous plea deals for things like illegal drugs, weapons, burglaries, and sexual abuse. I pulled records that proved 911 had been called to the house more than 200 times in recent years, subsequently straining emergency response resources in the criminal justice system. So after that investigation aired, Portland police started building a case to warn the Hendon family that they're in danger of being designated a chronic nuisance house. But things got worse before they started to get better.
You can see the pellet in the window.
Erica Borman lives across from the Hendon family on North Houghton Street. A pellet pierced her window after Erica spoke to us about what she's seen at the home. What was police's reaction when they saw this?
It's clear to them that it's retaliatory, and they have expressed concern for the safety of my family in particular. When I have children, it's terrifying.
This disturbing behavior happened the night after the Portland Bureau of Transportation and police performed a massive street cleanup, towing all these abandoned and illegal vehicles and debris we reported being connected to the Hendon house. But her bedroom window wasn't the only broken glass.
We had multiple car windows shot out with a pellet gun.
Since our previous report detailing the extent of the ongoing alarming issues stemming from this property, neighbors say police have increased patrols in the Kenton neighborhood.
It's really helped us get some movement and attention, and it's been really validating for the experience, because we sort of have felt alone in this and how bad it's gotten and continues to be. And the story really illustrated how bad it really is.
Our news coverage also got the attention of leaders in City Hall.
I'm here today along with several of my neighbors to ask for your attention and action in helping us restore peace and safety to our neighborhood and the Kenton Community Garden.
City leaders have now met privately with the neighbors on Houghton Street about how the city intends to restore a sense of safety to a block that's been living in constant fear of the people living next door.
I felt like we were heard.
And now Portland police have built a case on the Hendon house, recently serving them a letter warning they're at risk of being designated a chronic nuisance property after PPB recorded 3 nuisances within 30 days for theft and offensive littering. As a result, authorities have given the family 10 days to meet with officers and fix the problems, or else face further action. So police have served the Hendons a nuisance warning late last week. The owner of the home, their mother, Carol Hendon, is dead. So if the remaining occupants are uncooperative, police can eventually go to the city attorney's office to seek further legal action. If a Multnomah County judge determines the house to be a chronic nuisance property, they then can issue a warrant and work to evict the people occupying the home, board it up, and clean it up. And then they can also issue financial penalties. Now, all of this takes time and due process. First, though, the city and police try to work with the occupants to fix the problems before they ever have to take cases this far. And records show that oftentimes nuisance warnings alone do solve the problems.
So in your initial report in November, you talked to neighbors, of course, but you talked to the family connected to this house. You also talked to them again for this report. What are they telling you?
Well, so I reached out to a couple of family members. One of them told me that they were very upset about what's happening at their late mother's home, and they want to try and turn things around. They said that there is currently 11 adults and 1 child living in this 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house, and that someone's even living in the shed in the back. But the other family members who are still occupying the house, they didn't return my phone calls.
Okay. Well, we say watching out for you, and this report proved that, Elise. Great reporting.
Great reporting, Elise. Great reporting.
We do mean that.
Yes, honestly. You know, so we came across this story. Shout out to the YouTube algorithm. Shows you what we've got our mind on. Keeping it local. And they talked about decades of activity at this home. So for me, this sounds like generations of things that are happening, not just through this family, but to this community. Like, and, you know, law enforcement was like, oh, no, we know the house. This is one of many problems. It's the Hendons. It's one of many problem homes that we had to deal with throughout the city. There was a part of that story where they said city officials, city leaders met with community members privately to discuss. And something occurred to me. You met with them privately. I'm not sure what level of support that the members in those communities felt from meeting with their civic leaders privately, you know, under the, in some clandestine situation. But to me, it feels like the people you should be meeting with live in the house. Like, why are you meeting with me about what's happening in my community instead of meeting with the people in that home? This reminds me of when they wanted to have a conversation or a town hall about the houseless situation.
But they wouldn't let nobody be there.
And they prioritized the voices of developers.
Of business owners and developers.
And none of the community-based organizations that could actually give them some insight into how to tackle the situation. So as I'm listening to the stories we just played it this morning, I'm sitting here like, this has been going on for generations, right? And it's easy for us to see behavior that is attributed to the Black community, or communities of color primarily, and for us to be within that community and say, well, obviously, this is a result of a lack of resources.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking addictions. You're talking about so many different things that can cause this. I'm looking at this family, and I'm not gonna lie. The first time it came up, it was just like, y'all wilding, and y'all letting this go on because they're white. Like,
yeah, no, they're the Gallaghers.
Yeah. They're the Gallaghers.
Yeah.
They're the Gallaghers. And then just now, again, listening to them, and it's like, but what's been done actually to address what's happening in the house? I mean, of course, you got neighbors calling, child protection services, but
fam, they shot that woman's window after she asked for help. Like,
right.
What's been done? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I cut you off.
No. But
the more, first I went into this lighthearted because LMAO at that music, the tone, the things that
go into it.
I mean, Coin 6 went to town on that one. Dun dun.
I love it.
So I was like, okay, I can laugh at this. This is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But the end result is what they're talking about. They said if we have to take it this far, is a note. It's a letter. What do you a potential fine for some? They're not going to be able to pay it.
Listen,
Ambush, what you're saying in the beginning there of this being lack of resources, and we know why crime happens, and all of it's still true.
Yeah.
But this is what it looks like when people say, "What do you mean I have white privilege? I'm broke. I grew up poor. I've never had." This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because you would absolutely not in any way, shape, form, or fashion be able to be the Gallaghers with brown or black skin.
No.
And just be this.
Yeah.
In a neighborhood. And then openly retaliate against people when they're just trying. Y'all, I encourage you to see the video of this.
Yeah.
People are just, someone tries to run someone over. They run over all their cans. They, a lot
of this stuff's caught on video. A lot of this stuff's caught on video.
Most of this, there is video of all sorts of stuff happening. There have been, altogether, more than hundreds of arrests within that family.
Yeah.
This is why
506 crimes.
Abolish the police and prisons because obviously it don't work.
Here's this though. An ex-police chief, I believe, from Hillsborough. They contacted him to get some commentary on how this should be handled. This was like last year. And he was like, this is really simple. Put a mobile unit at the end of the block. He was like, instead of responding to calls every single time, put a substation. Put a substation at the end of the block. Put the hours in. And he said, and then you have officers, they're constantly racking up whatever through their own observations, racking this stuff up, being a presence, and then it's done. He's like, why is this taking so long? And I'm sitting here like, when y'all want to do it, y'all want to do it, this sounds like something
all sorts of solutions for somewhere you don't have, a precinct.
But back to your point of all sorts of solutions, if this were a different neighborhood, that would have been happened.
Because think about
cameras and the lights, all of it been happened.
24-hour surveillance.
Yeah.
But LOL at their building, they've built a case. They're gonna have to send that letter.
Yeah. Once your house is deemed nuisance, you're in trouble, bro.
You're in trouble. What's the trouble? You get a letter. Okay, what's in the letter? It tells you you're a nuisance. And then what? You might get a fine. And we don't want to have to take it this far. And usually, when we do have to take it this far, people clean their acts up by now. Like, you're missing all of it. You're going to have a whole lot more Hendon houses.
Yeah.
The more you spend on police and less money you spend on people.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
This continues to happen.
Yeah.
I don't want a substation on anybody's block. I don't want a mobile unit sitting out there waiting to see them throw a rock at a house that then they're not going to do anything about.
Right.
Because then also just arresting on all these little petty things that they do. Then they go back home and make those neighborhoods or the neighbors'
Pay
lives
for it. Yeah.
a living nightmare.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just it's just the kind of thing that we should be able to look at this and go, oh, okay, I'm seeing a bunch of things that don't work.
I'm seeing a pattern.
What ends up happening is people look at, this family and this neighborhood or whatever, and they're like, they're lazy. They don't want to work. This is, like they just want to live off the government and things like that so that they can be lawless and live like this.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, instead of taking it to that extreme, what would it look like if those people had security?
Yeah.
What would it look like if there weren't 11 people in a two-bedroom house? How different could it be? How different could those kids grow up? But certainly, if anybody is looking for a moment of like white privilege isn't real, hi. They've been able to do this for decades. There's no way Black and brown people would have been kicked out of this neighborhood, would have been kicked out. They would not be able to receive any sort of assistance. There would be no, how you getting arrested all this time and still getting government assistance? Isn't there a thing?
Excuse me, sir. I've been kicked out of better places than this. I've been redlined out of better neighborhoods than this.
That's the thing.
Huh. Nah, it's real talk. That's real talk.
You can't hit me with, this is,
we got to switch focus to, especially if we're talking about having solution-oriented conversations.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite phrases. But we've got to switch focus and figure out how to best navigate the harder conversations, because that's where the solutions are. You're having a secret meeting with the community about other people that you have an issue with.
In the community.
You're not having a conversation with the people that you've deemed problematic. You just want to disappear them. This is how they handle things all of the time. In the PPB, I'm on the Training Advisory Council for the PPB. And in the conversation we had with one of their training coordinators, they were talking about how difficult it is sometimes to get officers to come out and interface with the community in town hall settings and, meet and greets and things of that nature. And that the officers that do come out are carefully selected because they don't want to have the wrong officers out there that communicate frustrations or don't know what to say or say the wrong thing or, just aren't prepared to interface with the public. And I took issue with that because every single officer, your job is to interface with the public. So if you are in a situation where you hate being around people so much that presented with a non-confrontational situation, opportunity to engage, you're opting out, or your superiors feel like, not this one. No, those are literally the people we should be talking to. Those are the ones we should be talking to the most. If within your function, within your shift, you are looking at the people you're supposed to be serving as people that you have no connection to, you cannot even have a civil conversation with them without your blood pressure rising.
You're in the wrong job, bro.
Not only are you in the wrong job, but you're in the wrong job, but that's not a disqualifying factor for your employment. So because it isn't, and because those rules won't change, there needs to be a microphone in front of you. You need to be able to you need to be highlighted. You need to be spoken to directly. Your concerns need to take center stage, because when they aren't given a place for us to attack, not necessarily attack, but for us to engage and really question and talk these things out, it comes out in a Tyree Nichols situation. It comes out in many situations we've seen over and over again. And how are we expecting to break that chain of events if we're going to keep doing things the exact same ways over and over again? I didn't expect this this Hendon House story to take me all the way there. But, here we are.
I had like 4 different things I wanted to interject there, and now I don't remember any of them. I gotta get better taking some notes. Yeah, when it comes to discussion and where we are, I think you started by saying we need to figure out how to navigate the harder conversations better. And I disagree, simply because we don't get to the hard conversations. And I think that that's very purposeful, but we're not there. We're still sitting on surface things. So it's not even that we need to do the other ones better. We need to learn to stop engaging in the small stuff. Stop engaging in the stuff that stops us from actually getting to the things that matter. That is our discourse right now. That is where...
Like dodge the distractions.
Yeah. I mean, it really is, well, just comply. Or if you didn't break the law, the police wouldn't be coming your way. Like, why are we having that conversation? Right. If there's a person who believes that's true, you're not going to be the one that changes their mind. Move forward.
Yeah.
I'm not here to have that conversation.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's not that the other ones can't be navigated. The harder conversations can't be navigated. They don't get to. There's no navigation to it.
We don't have the address.
We don't have the GPS ain't GPSing. We're just sitting over here doing, really, really rudimentary things.
Yeah.
Having conversations about conversations instead of solutions. The solutions are there.
Yep.
Not for absolutely everything, but for many of the things. Solutions are there. And so we got to stop messing around in the muck with like,
nothing burgers.
Well, I don't know, with nothing burgers.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about how many times someone in your white family has been arrested. Let's talk about why are they in the position of being arrested, right?
Yes.
It's not because the police looked at you.
Certainly.
Like, what resources do you need? Why are you in the position of having to steal every day? Let's talk about that.
Right.
Let's find a way to make it so that you can eat.
And not to put this on members of that immediate community, because that's not what this is about. It's the same way, the leadership allows certain things to play out in order for us to turn against each other. That block, that's what's happening.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's what's happening.
Absolutely.
The neighbors are enemies. The neighbors are enemies. The neighbors are living in fear. They're living in conflict. And the government is meant to govern. And the fact this has been going on for decades is a failure. Period. Not a failure of those people in that block. Not a failure of the community. The people that have been put in positions of leadership have failed. Have absolutely failed. So it's like,
I don't want to hear about the mom who died and how Carol raised a bunch of bad people.
Yeah.
I want to know, what are we going to do so that when somebody has multiple children and those people are in poverty, what are we going to do?
Right.
To get those people out of poverty so that these other things aren't even options.
Right.
Like, to me, real simple. And government can work for you. There is a reason why it takes a long time to do all these things. That was another thing that was upsetting in that piece, is that it was like, whoa, boy, guys, it's going to take a long time. We got to do all these investigations. We got to do this. We got to do that. And then, usually by now they would have cleaned up their act. But because they're still going, we're going to have to hire someone that's better with the words and write a letter.
Right.
It doesn't have to be this long, right? And I don't mean like evict those people or get the police in there yesterday. I mean, government doesn't have to take so long to get things done. What's the investigation? Is the stuff happening? All these neighbors got cameras. There's too much footage that we're receiving.
Tons of police
from
reports.
Different angles.
Right.
So many different police reports. When, you are in a position of power and you decide to use that power in a way of like, I don't care about this thing, so I'm not going over there. So we're just going to act like we didn't get this report today.
Right.
That's what's happening.
Right.
But you can have like an efficient phone call or interview or whatever it is with state agencies when you need assistance. That is something that can happen.
Right.
And instead, we will make you do a whole bunch of work to tell us you can't eat. And I don't care really what that fallout is. It can be different. We should be using our imaginations to come up with ideas and solutions that do not involve incarcerating and evicting people. This is the kind of thing where nobody should have to have 11 people in a house that is for 2 people. Yeah. But if those people were living on the street, you would discard them, you know? So, like, we have to start paying attention to the different levels of poverty and how close everybody is to actually being on the street so that we can talk about solutions instead of, why don't we put those people in warehouses right now just to get them out my face?
Your relationship or a person's relationship to oppression, and depending on how many layers, levels, systems that are intersected in their existence, like it puts them in a very, very terrible but unique position where it takes less imagination to come up with solutions. So the same way you were like, it's simple. It's very simple for you because you're a Black woman. And the levels and the systems that you have to navigate in order to exist, you've done this your entire life. So yeah, there's things that are second nature. I know the solution to this already.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about people that have existed in, top levels of privilege, they can't even imagine what it would mean to try to navigate these systems. So being able to find a solution that isn't just lock them up is just like, well, what do we do?
You're making me work too hard.
What? There's no, so we got to lock these. There's nothing else that'll work. There's nothing else that'll work. Yeah, I get it. I understand how you could say that.
I can see how you could
say that. We got one more story that we do have time for, but I do want to take a music break real quick.
Okay.
And then we'll come back with these this lawsuit against the state for payroll on behalf of state employees. Like, yikes. Welcome, Bizak. This is News of My Fiance with Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush. Join the conversation. It's not too late yet. We're still in we're in our last story, but it's 971-220-5979. Rudes.
Speaking of it not being too late, so Rudo hit a little bit earlier, which, sorry, missed it in the moment. But it says, I know it's late in the show, but I would love to hear about your take on the current OLCC investigations. And so please tune in next Thursday, because that may be the whole show.
Yeah, we definitely going to talk about that.
That is getting talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
For anybody who is unfamiliar, there are allegations and it appears some truths behind some OLCC employees using their status as employees of the OLCC that are abusing said status and getting rare bottles of liquor for themselves. And I know you might be saying, who cares? It's just a bottle of liquor. No, it's not. And we will Thursday. Sorry to make you wait so long, Rudo.
Yeah.
Maybe one day we'll have multiple days.
Oh, to be doing the news?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
But as of right now, it's going to be next Thursday.
Yes.
Talking about that old Oregon Liquor and Cannabis Control Center.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it said.
The Oak.
Okay, I'm going to try and run through this real quick. I just want to also say a shout out to every person who strikes at work.
Real talk.
Oregon workers are filing a lawsuit over payroll issues. The state of Oregon is facing a proposed class action lawsuit over payroll issues following the implementation of a new payroll system in December 2022. The lawsuit claims that thousands of state employees have been wrongly paid, leading to late and missing payments, incorrect accruals of paid time off, and unauthorized deductions. The state employees who have been affected range from those who have been overpaid and have to pay the money back to those who have not received a paycheck at all. The lawsuit is seeking a court order that would require the state to fix its payroll system and to ensure that all employees have been accurately and fully compensated. State employee Amaya Tanya says the switch to the new payroll system has been a disaster, with over 1,800 people affected by the issue. She says the wrongful $2,000 deduction on her last pay stub has left her struggling to make ends meet, with not enough money for transportation, food, and medical expenses. Andrea Kennedy Smith, a paralegal with the Oregon Department of Human Services, says she has received hundreds of complaints from employees with varying payroll issues. Kennedy Smith, who represents thousands of state employees, says the impact of the system switch has gone beyond the payroll issues affecting employees' retirement and savings plans as well. Union representatives are reportedly partnering together to file a grievance on behalf of the nearly 2,000 impacted members. The employees are hoping for accountability and for something better to be done about the ongoing payroll issues. They are calling for all employees to be paid on time and for those who have incurred late fees or overdraft fees to be reimbursed. Excuse me. They also want their day in court to address these issues. Fam?
Bruh.
Let me tell you this about that. For anybody who has had a payroll issue, meaning you didn't get paid the amount of money you were supposed to get paid.
Man.
We should have always known how close everybody was to, not having the stability that they need, because just one time in my 20s, did this woman not pay me? And my whole life was about to crumble.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing.
Pager getting cut off.
The whole thing. Okay, I didn't have a pager in my 20s.
Okay,
Come on, fam. Hold on. Hey. Sir.
I apologize.
Wow. I'm going to take this story all the way somewhere else now. But so I have had, a few times in working for a nonprofit that messed up there was a switch, and then all of a sudden, all of our PTO was messed up. All of our deductions were messed up. There were things that were like, wait, but if it's my PTO in that moment in the small little nonprofit that I worked in, my paycheck is still fine, right? You have to fix this before I need to take those days or whatever it is, but it isn't affecting the actual money that I've been paid or I'm supposed to be paid right this second. If you don't get your paycheck or if you get less than what you are supposed to multiple times, there is no catch up. Where's the catch up if I shouldn't also have to be playing catch up. I shouldn't also have to have now my bank being overdrafted or not being able to pay the things that I know I have budgeted. I know I make enough to pay these things. And now all of a sudden I did all the work, but the money's not coming my way. I do not understand why a company cannot just write you a check right that second. And This is the state.
Right.
The state needed to be like, oh, your check is wrong. Okay, here's the difference. Because whatever the short-term fix is needs to be a fix so that my rent gets paid.
Yeah.
I don't actually care how we do it. So run the bread.
Quick, fast.
Because now things are going real faulty for a lot of people who I thought we cared about the working and aren't they the citizens that you care the most about?
Backbone.
This is the kind of thing that can ruin folks' lives as working individuals. And it's a systemic failure.
It's all phrasing, lobbying on behalf, or I'm here to represent my constituents that are living check to check. But do you actually understand what that means? It's just a phrase that you use.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, you have no concept.
Well, when they say check to check, they don't. They really just mean when they want to buy Beyonce tickets.
Yeah, things are tight.
They gotta. Yeah, it's tight. Yeah. They gotta wait. No, maybe it's the difference of having a place to live or not.
Yeah.
It's the difference of having a bank account or not, because I don't know if everybody knows this, that the more overdrafts, the more problems you have where the money ain't there, but someone's knocking on the door to get it, the less a bank is messing with you.
They will close it down, shut it down, like in the air.
And then we get into a whole different level of poverty pimping, where now I have to pay extra money and fees and all of that stuff to be able to cash a check, to be able to do this, then buy a check to be able to send it to my landlord. Fam, should not take a class action suit. Where are the people that are solutions based for the people that work for them? Where are you? You absolutely, as the state, cannot be out here floundering like that.
Not the state.
You fumbled the bag.
Not the state, yo.
And then you were like, oh, we'll get to it?
Nah.
Because there should be no reason why anybody is upset enough. They should be like, oh, the payroll thing got messed up and they paid me immediately.
Right.
We ain't got nothing to talk about.
Right.
No story here.
Oh, you're about to get evicted? Come get this voucher.
Come get this voucher.
Come get this voucher real quick. We got to get you paid.
Sorry.
We got to get you paid. Come get this voucher.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
You have zero reason to have had made anybody wait. That works for you. You know they clocked in.
To quote a legend, Steve Rogers.
Oh my God.
Whatever it takes.
You can do this all day.
You're listening to X-Ray FM at KXRY Portland at 91.1 and 107.1 FM, and in the Halem, Manzanita, and Rockaway Beach at 91.7 FM, streaming online everywhere, xray.fm. And hey, man, that was News to My Fiance.
We did it.
We did it. Brought to you by Morgan Jones and DJ Ambush and our podcast editor, Kyle G. Shout out to everybody that hit us up on text message. Got a couple to respond to here. And I'll be doing that off the air. But again, poverty is a policy choice. People over profit. Poverty to the people. None of us are free until we are all free. Thanks
Solidarity,
for listening.
y'all.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.